I det fjärde programmet i serien Five Times Britain gör vi idag ett besök i en liten stad i sydvästra Skottland. Vi träffar några ungdomar som berättar om vad de tycker och tänker om Skottland och om sin framtid.
Are there many differences between the Scottish way of pronouncing words and phrases and the English way of doing it?
Well, I feel that the English have more difficulty understanding us than we have understanding them, because we have a lot of different ways of saying things. For instance, we don't call a wall, we call it a wa. Or we don't say a no, it's a ken. And babies are bairns and such like.
And what language do you use at school?
English.
And in the breaks, what do you speak then?
Scottish.
What's the difference?
It's how you pronounce words and finish them off. Like, for instance, when I say I can't, I say I canny. And for I say don't, dinny. And that's not accepted in school.
It's not accepted when you speak Scottish?
No.
But you're in a Scottish school?
Yes.
Well, what do you think about that?
I feel it's not fair. I think if Scotland had their own government, Mike could do something about that.
You wearing a badge. What does it mean?
Well, the badge is to show that I'm a member of the Scottish Nationalist Party. So I'm a junior member, and they're the party that's fighting for independence for Scotland.
So you're fighting for independence?
Well, not me necessarily, but when I'm aged to vote at 18, I'll vote for this party, and they're trying to get Scotland to become an independent nation in the future.
Why would you like Scotland to be independent?
Well, I feel that they've a right to be independent, and they could support their own needs.
You could support your own needs, you mean?
We could. We've got various industries, electronics, we've got the fishing industry, and the recent findings of oil, which are bringing in various amounts of money to the country.
I am Lindsay Picken. I am 16. I live on a farm. I've got 2 brothers and 1 sister. This is my younger brother Neil. He's 14. My little sister Claire, 7 years old.
Get out, Joe. Get out.
This is my eldest brother James.
Steady now.
He's 18.
Steady, Joe. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Go on, Joe. Go on, Joe. Here, Joe. Here. Here, Joe.
What breed is the dog?
The dog is a collie, and we find it has natural instincts for working with animals.
Goodbye. Bye, Joe.
So you don't have to train him at all?
Not much. This dog that we have is above average intelligence, and most of what he does is just natural.
Bye.
But he has to be
Bye.
trained a little.
Goodbye, Joe. Go on, Joe.
What do you mainly use the dog for then?
Go on, Joe.
If we're bringing in sheep or working with sheep at all, we use him, and quite often we use him with cattle.
Steady. Here. Joe.
What are the commands you give him when you want him to round up sheep and when you want him to round up cattle?
Well, there's no specific commands, really. He works to anything. He can tell mostly by the tone of your voice.
Come on, Joe.
If you're angry with him, you can tell, and he stops, and you can tell when
Come
you're
on,
pleased
Joe.
with him by the loudness or the harshness of your voice.
Would this be very difficult if you hadn't got a dog to help you with the work?
Yeah, it would. You need about 4 more people when you're working with sheep. Instead of 1 man and a dog going to bring them in, you'd need about 5 or 6 people.
Here, Joe.
24 pound on the bed, 410, 410 a bed, 420, 420 a bed, 30, 430 a bed, 40, 440 a bed, 50, 460, 460 a bed, 460 on the bed, 460, 470, 470 a bed, 470 on the bed, 80, 480 a bed, 480 on the bed, 490, 490 a bed all the way now, sir. 2490 on the bed, 2490. 2490 if you're all finished to go. Is it not enough yet? 100, 2490 to go, 2490, 2490. The feather.
There you are again, and there's time. Great big heifers there. What about time now? 250, 20, 200.
Every week there's a sheep and cattle auction at Castle Douglas. Today my father is selling some cattle at the auction.
18, 218 by 219, 219, 220, 220, 221, 221 by 221, 221, 221, 221, 222, 222, 223, 223, 4, 224, 224, 5, 225, 225, 225, 225, hold on here again at 200 and stay steady, at 225, 225 and 225. George Barber.
A cow sells at about £225.
Mr. Peckham, what's it like to be a farmer in this part of Scotland?
Well, the main enterprise of farming in this part is stock rearing, dairying, sheep and hill cattle. We have 100 Ayrshire dairy cows, 250 breeding ewes and 75 beef cattle.
Can you live from what you get from a farm here?
Oh yes, with quite a good livelihood, quite a good living.
My father keeps Clydesdale horses for breeding and for shows. Before the horse is taken to a show, it is groomed and washed.
Mr. Peckham, why do you wash the horse?
Well, for show purposes, when we show a horse, we want them clean. We'll have to get all the grease out of their legs. When we've finished it, we want the hair nice and silky and straight.
This horse is only used then for show purposes?
And breeding. Watch your hand. Yes.
What is a horse like this called?
Clydesdale. Clydesdale horse.
James, what do you say about unemployment in this area?
Well, unless you're connected with farming or fishing, you haven't got much chance of a job at all.
So you're going to become a farmer?
Yes, I'm going to college in a fortnight for 3 years. And then after that, I'm nearly fully qualified farmer.
If you haven't chosen that job, what other jobs could you have got in this area?
I could have worked on the fishing boats, but if I'd wanted any other sort of job, any skilled job, I would have had to moving away from the area.
From the southwest of Scotland, you mean?
Yeah, I would have had to go on to Ayr or Glasgow.
Lindsay, what will you do when you finish school?
I hope to become a nurse, and I'd like to train up in Edinburgh, which is the capital of Scotland.
It wouldn't be possible for you to get the training here at Kirkcudbright?
No, I could train in Dumfries, which is 38 miles away, but I'd like to get right away from Kirkcudbright and go and train somewhere else.
Why would you like to get away from Kirkcudbright?
Just to be able to see a bit of the city life. But I think after I'd finished my training, I'd like to come back to Kirkcudbright.
How would you describe Kirkcudbright? Is it a pleasant place to live in?
Yes, it's a small, cheery town. Everybody knows everybody else. It's quite a pretty town. Kirkcudbright used to be an important seaport, but today there's only a small harbour here. Here the tide is out. The boats sit on the mud beds of the river. The difference between high tide and low tide is about 7 metres. When the tide is in, the fishing boats come with their carts for the fish factory in town. There are only about 10 fishing boats that bring their carts to Kirkcudbright nowadays.
Oh, will you hold this then? Here, hold it.
How big is the crew?
Three of it. Three altogether, counting myself.
How long have you been out this time?
2 days.
And where have you been fishing?
About 8 miles south of Scotland.
Is it difficult to find crew members?
Kind of difficult, yes.
Why do you think it would be difficult?
Oh, well, the long hours, unsociable hours, hard work.
Is it hard work?
Yes, very hard work, at times.
How much sleep do you get?
We had 3 hours last night, 4 hours the night before.
The fish factory is one of the main industries in Kirkcudbright. It employs about 200 workers, mostly women.
What's your name?
Pauline Murray,
And how old are you?
19,
How long have you been working in this factory?
9 months.
Are there many young people here on the Doe?
Yes, a lot who just leave school. Who've just left the school. They can't get jobs and they go in the door. My mum got me the job. She just asked Mr. King, could he take me on? He said yes, right away. And I just went down that day.
So you had no choice, you mean?
No, I had to go or she'd get angry with me.
Because you were on the Doe then?
Yes. She doesn't like me at home all day myself. She wants me out working so she can take money off me for my digs.
And what do you think of that?
Well, I've got brothers and sisters in the house and she needs the money too, so I can't stay there for nothing. I've got to pay my way. You know, for my food, I've got to pay for it.
Do you like being on the Doe?
It's okay to start with, but you get sick of it after a while. You want to meet people,
I enjoy my work. It's good company.
What do you think of when you sit there in the factory?
Sometimes I don't like it. Sometimes I talk and we have a good laugh.
What did you say the young people would do after they leave school? Do they want to stay on in this area or do they move?
No, most of them want to leave.
Why?
Because they don't like it here. There's nothing for them to do. There's no nice shops for them to buy their clothes. They've always got to go away. There's no entertainment at nights. Unless you're old enough to go to a pub.
How old must you be to get into a pub?
18.
So there won't be anybody under the age of 18 in a pub then?
Yes. But I've got friends today who were fined £30 for drinking underage. You know, the police catch them. If you're not 18, they take you to court and they fine you.
But the young people would go into the pub, you say?
Oh, yes. There's nothing else for them to do. They go and they get drunk.
What can you do here at night then, or in the evenings? What activities are there?
Well, at the weekend there's dances on round about, but you've usually got to travel about 15 miles to find them. But through the weeks, the only place to go is the pub to meet people.
What do you think of Kirkcudbright?
I think it's a nice place for old people because it's nice scenery round about and it's very quiet. But if you're a young person, it's not so good.
Mrs. Peckin, they say that this is not really a place for young people, Kirkcudbright. Do you agree?
There's very little for them in town. In the country, we're lucky because they have all the country pursuits. But there again, if they have any outside interests after school in town, we have the problem of transport. We have to take them each time they want to go to something. If they have any continuing classes or sport in the evening, they always have to be taken, and that's a problem in the country.
So if you're a child in the town, there aren't very many things to do then?
Not very many, no. Very difficult. Not so bad when you're younger because there are brownies and Cub Scouts, things like that. But for the teenagers, that's where the difficulty is. There's very little for them.
What do the grown-up people do about that?
They talk a lot. Not an awful lot, really. Some organisations run discos, but...
So they aren't really interested in keeping the young people in this area?
I wouldn't say they're not interested. There again, there aren't jobs for young people in this area, so inevitably they have to go away.
And what do you think of that?
I think it's a great pity, because it's a lovely area, and it would be nice if we could hang on to the young people. But so far, there's just nothing for them to do.
Bye. Steady! Steady! Steady, go! There you go, sit! Sit! Sit, go!